What's going on, guys? My name is Yellow S2K and I'm playing some MX vs ATV Reflex, and this is another custom track review. We are at Southwick 2016. Really cool. It's made by Punker Jeffy. Obviously Southwick is an awesome track. In fact, it's one of my favorites to watch over the years. Some of the awesome battles back in the day with Stewart and Carmichael, and just some good memories of this track. First things first, I think he did a great job with the sand and just the general layout, just as you would expect from Punker Jeffy, and I think it goes really well with the other national replicas from this year. That being said, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite Reflex track or replica, for that matter. I think he did a good job. The quality is definitely there, but does this track really ride well in Reflex? I don't quite think so. And I don't want to be negative about it, because I know it took a lot of work, and I really appreciate it, and it's well executed, I think. But I find myself being a little bored by the layout of the track, and that's, you know, nothing that Punker Jeffy can do about it. It is what it is. And I think this game, you can feel that it's sand for sure, but it just doesn't correlate that awesome Southwick that we all like, right? Where it's just the sand is insane. I mean, yeah, you can start carrying your speed more and more, where you're just really railing these outsides, but the pace just seems so slow. And at first I thought it was like, okay, so maybe it's because I've been playing a lot of sim, but that's not the reason. It's just the way it feels. I kind of found a fix for it that changed it and made it a lot more fun for me, and that's actually first person. So I'm gonna do at least just this first lap here, maybe a little bit more in third person, just to give it a shot and show you kind of the norm. I think most people play in third person, but when you switch it over into first, you get a lot more speed, and it makes it feel a lot cooler when you're railing those outside. So let me actually do one more lap in third person and just focus on trying to carry our speed, because that's really all this track is about, is carrying your speed. You can see there's no jumps that are difficult. There's just really not much to Southwick, you know what I mean? It's all about how these guys are just staying so pinned. It gets rough, and really I wish it was rougher. Maybe it wouldn't be accurate, but I think it would give it that next level of excitement. So let me focus in a little bit here and try to get some far outsides there. But you can see, if you connect them, you can really do a decent job of keeping your momentum up and making it a little bit more exciting. And obviously if you're racing on this, you're going to need to carry those outsides. And I haven't really done a great job of it. It's kind of hard in third person at the moment, because I just want to cut in, because it just feels so slow, and it's just the drag of the sand, you know? But you can see, it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I think this is a great Southwick, but I don't know, man. Is it that exciting for Reflex? I don't think so. And it's kind of a bummer. But it is fun, no doubt about it. The visuals, the trees are on the outside, all the objects, the little track markers, the banners, it all looks really nice. The visuals are all there and it looks great. However, it's just not my favorite, and that's personal preference. Maybe some of you guys really dig this track, and I know I'm not necessarily doing it that much justice with those outsides trying to carry speed. I can definitely pick up the pace quite a bit if I hit it correctly. So I don't know, it's a give and take, you know what I mean? I think he did an excellent job, is really what it comes down to. Is this the track for me? Not necessarily. Maybe some people really dig it and I'm not looking at it correctly. But I'm here to give you guys my honest opinion, and I'm not going to just sugarcoat everything and say that it's fantastic. So yeah, it is what it is. It's not my favorite, but it could have some good racing because it's an easy track. Sometimes those real easy tracks lend themselves to the best racing, where everyone's pretty quick. You're not having people crashing all over the place because there's nothing that difficult, and sometimes it's just an excellent battle. So I think that's where this track is really going to shine. Let's switch over to first person, and it should give you a much better idea of why I think this is the way to go for this track. Look at the speed difference, and it's a lot more fun carrying around these outsides, and I'm actually trying really hard. It's a little bit difficult And this is where the track turns for me. This is where it gets exciting. I hate to have to do this, but really, this is where it's at. I mean, look how much cooler this track looks in first person. It's like, fuck yeah, dude. This is Southwick, man. Oops, slid out a little bit. That's a fun outside if you can nail it, though. So we'll probably finish out these laps in first person because it's just that good. But it begs the question, I mean, should you have to change to first person? Because the real reason first person is great is because it just changes that perspective of speed, you know? And it just makes it good. That's why, like, you've seen some of my other reviews where I'm doing, what is it called? Like the Enduro loop and stuff like that, where it's just sweet to do in first person because that speed is there. If you don't have that speed, it's just like, well, this is boring as shit. And unfortunately, that's kind of what Southwick does. I wish it was just, if it was more rough, or I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Obviously, it's kind of up to Punker Jeffy, and I don't want to tell him a different way to do things because, again, it's executed really well. But I guess if it was more rough, something to give it a little bit more excitement, I think it would really be a little bit more memorable for me. At this point, honestly, I'll try to maybe do some racing just to see what that's like. But past that, I'll probably forget about this track, and that's a really big bummer because there's so much time that these guys put in to make these tracks. So I don't say that lightly. I really, really don't. But sometimes it's just the fact of the matter. You know, it just is what it is. So anyway, let me focus in and try to improve the riding a little bit here. Obviously, I don't ride in first person that much in this game, but I do have a lot of fun with it. Obviously, you guys know I have a series of first person laps in Reflex. So, you know, I have a decent bit of time in first person, but I've been playing a lot of sim, as I said, so it's a little weird to play first person on a game that's not sim, but it's nice. It's actually a lot easier. I'm just staying pinned, kind of watching my leaning, but yeah, this is where this track is cool. Honestly, I'm having a great time now, but before I was like, fuck, man, I could have been checking the time while I was riding. Like, it just wasn't catching my attention, I guess. This track would be so nuts. I'm glad it's back on the calendar. I'm glad it's back in the series. Like I said at the beginning, man, just so many good memories of the top guys racing on this track. Even this year, it was fantastic with Tomac coming and passing Roxon and taking that win. It was just really cool. Just those guys carrying the speed around the outsides, just pinned through the sand. All the braking bumps and the big rollers and stuff just flat out. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks for sure. Hopefully you guys all caught this this year's race. If not, I know it's on YouTube, so check that out, man. Definitely worth watching. In fact, it might be the best race all season, just because the riding is just on that next level. Those guys just staying pinned through the sand, and with Tomac kind of taking it to Roxon, it was an exciting one. So definitely one I'd recommend. Do a quick search if you haven't seen it. But let's go this inside. Not really worth it. This is all about those outsides, man. That's what it's all about. I almost think I could stay pinned around the entire track and never lift. You know? I mean, that's not that exciting. I mean, it sounds like it would be, though, right? Like, dude, full throttle the whole way. Hardcore. Scrub. Scrub gone wrong. But, you know, it's more just like, well, you just stay pinned and turn left and right. And the one thing I will say is with racing, another good thing about this track, you can see the terrain deformation or deformation or whatever, whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. It is, it's pretty strong, so you can see some of the trails where it's like, I bet if you had, you know, 10 guys racing this track and you did a good 15 lapper, there would be your excitement right there. So really doing it solo, maybe this isn't the best representation of what makes this track good. Maybe the racing is good because the track is easy, close battles, and also it's going to get really, really rough. So that's something to consider for sure that I haven't said. And I bet you there'll be some comments, or I hope people actually stick around and hear my full opinion, because if you kind of shut it off early, you would know that that was something that is definitely a huge positive for this track. And something I would like to see, and hopefully we'll be able to get some races together. That's always a little bit difficult, but yeah, that's that would be pretty sick. I love the tracks that get really, really rough. But again, just for normal riding and things like that, I wish this track was just a little bit more difficult. And through whatever means, I don't know if it can be sandier, deeper. I assume he probably went as hardcore as he can with that. But, just an interesting thought. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to waste too much of your time. Pretty cool track. Punker Jeffy, thank you so much for making it. It looks beautiful, very well executed. But I'm sure it's a difficult layout to try to make the best for Reflex. But anyway, guys, that is Southwick 2016. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. And until next time, I will talk to you later. Peace out.